Okay, so welcome everybody. My name is Vivian. I'm the Australian migration consultant, and we have today we are going to share about the Global Talent Independence Visa 3.0, which is especially for businesses in Hong Kong. So just before we start, I just want to get you guys to mute your phone if you haven't done so that you don't get distracted. We don't hear all this beeping, or mute your microphone. And I encourage all of you stay until the end of the webinar, because we're going to giving out big specials. And I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, just hold on. Okay. So I'm just going to share my screen with you. Okay, so everybody can see my screen? Yep. Okay, just a little bit background about myself. I've been migrated to Australia for 32 years, and I have 9 years experience in marketing and financial industry, and been working across Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and Hong Kong. So I've been working in Hong Kong for the 15 years. So I have a very well established network across Australia, Hong Kong, Singapore, and China. And I also graduated my MBA from University of Queensland, and I got a bachelor degree from Griffith University. So I'm going to welcome our first presenter, Joanna. Okay, Joanna is our principal migration agent, and she is a registered MARA agent in Australia. She has 6 years experience, and she has helped many business people to migrate to Australia as well. And she's one of the first pioneer in the South Australia, the Supporting Innovation South Australia, and the Global Talent Independent Visa. So we have already helped 50 to 60 families achieve their goal, granted the Australian permanent visa with 100% success rate. So she has graduated from the Australian Migration Law from Griffith University, and also she had a Bachelor of Social Science degree from the Psychology from the University of Northampton. So we just let Joanna, you want to show your camera and share your face with everybody? Oh. And I'll pass the screen to you.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
Can I see myself? Anyone? Hello, everybody. I think, which is interesting. Why you are all my clients? Not meet up.
There should be some people coming in.
Yeah. Oh, so it shows your support. Oh, awesome. Great. Okay. We have our clients here. Many clients are our clients here. And probably they just would like to know what's going on. Yeah. And they can share their news. So yes, thank you very much for joining us. Today, just our initial touch base with what's going on with the department and how we actually work, not continuing with the department. So we actually want to focus more about business side, plus in entrepreneurs. That's our focus. But of course, we will still be helping highly skilled, talented candidates from Hong Kong. Okay. So Vivian, what else do I need to share?
Okay. So in case people don't know the what's Global Talent Independent Visa, which I know most of you know about it, but I think we will go through a little bit just to refresh everybody. So so the 8 key status are from MedTech, ICT, data science, fintech, agriculture technology, cybersecurity, advanced manufacturing, and digital data. So these are the 8 key sectors. I believe most of you are in these 8 key sectors. And I know Joanna got some news from the target industry, and then from some insights from the GTI officer. And you want to share the global business pathway to people as well, right? Okay, there are some more people coming in now. So I'll just, yep, there's a few people joining us now. Okay, So Joanna, you want to share the updates from the GTI officer and also the global business pathway with everybody here?
Yes, certainly. So would you like me to, allow me to share the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see it. So I'm going to quickly, so can you pass back to me?
Oh. Okay. Okay, so you can share the screen now. You should be able to share the screen now.
There you go. So can you see my screen now?
Yeah. Yep.
It's the first time we actually host so many candidates, so many our successful candidates and potential candidates here. Okay, this is about a new. We have echoes here. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's not very good environment. So.
Can you mute their microphone if they're not talking yet? Can everybody mute their microphone? Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
I mute one as well.
Oh God. Right. Right. All right. So basically, I think he's not. Elsa, I think you need to mute your microphone. Okay. All right. I think it's better now. Oh, God. I'm so sorry about that. So this is the first time I actually host so many candidates.
It's actually from Ugrant. Can we mute Ugrant?
Okay, is that better now?
Yeah, much better.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm muting everybody, so only you and I can speak now.
Jeez. Yeah, sorry. Okay, right. So first of all, I believe you already watched news about something called new task force. It is not news only. It is an action by the department. So the news was actually published 4th of September this month. It is about, if you read through, it's about department has to create something called task force. So task force, it's a special team they call task force. And this team consists of senior officers from 3 departments, including Department of Innovation and Department of Innovation, Department of Trade and Investment, and Department of Home Affairs. So one of course, our senior officer from Department of Home Affairs, that he was promoted into this task force. Now, task force, it's actually just stood up. So I will be showing you an email that Scott sent to me about a particular task force. I actually received so many questions from you, say, what is a task force? What is it about? What is the requirement? We are actually here hosting everybody into a room to actually ask you, what do you want the task to be designed in the way that helping Australia to recover the economy, of course, helping our candidates to become permanent resident. And so this task force, initially, they focus on 3 key sectors. So I'll be showing you another email showing the department, it's not just consider 3 sectors, but among others. So initially their task force, because they want to attract someone from some business from advanced manufacturing, finance service, including fintech, insurance, financial investment banking, and health. So they want to do this. So basically, so the task force, which is a team member, it's a team, will take a whole of government approach, meaning they will give a really priority processing visa application and giving a really, really strong support And then here we are not just talking about these three departments. We're probably talking about the taxation office. How much taxation they'll be offered to new companies come to Australia. We are actually promoting that. Of course, suggesting the department that they should give some tax-free regions, or for some area if they decided to relocate, for example, Perth, Adelaide, right? They should have received some. So it is a whole of government approach that they try to put everybody together to help with the migration program. So, and they will work closely with state government. I think that's limited funding from state government. The state government can actually help work together with the taxation office to create a space, allowing new business come here, or enterprise or startup come to Australia. And here they say, okay, we're going to promote, right? We're going to promote to identify the opportunities. And we have a minister from trade, okay, say yes, they want to do that. And then we want business to come over here. We cannot wait for the normal business visa. You know, we have a traditional business visa, innovator type of visa, investment type of visa. It takes about 1.5 years to process. And we don't have enough time really waiting for the processing. So the department is going to give a priority to some business if they are considered with reasonable size. We will give definition of what it's meant by big business or reasonable business. Okay, so here, okay, they recognize this. So the reason I'm showing this really to show to everybody, right, whether we still have a migration happening, right? The border is closed. Oh, there's no migration happening. It's quite funny. And since the very beginning, earlier this year, we have been continuing obtaining invitations, visa application, visa grants for our GTI candidate. When the border is closed, when nobody can enter Australia, we still have people enter Australia. Yeah, because they are permanent resident, they can do so. After the permanent visa is granted, they are permanent resident. So they want to, on July 9, they say, I want now to attract Hong Kong-based business, right? It can be Hong Kong business, it can be some business who has a registration office in Hong Kong, but they have main offices probably in China. It's okay too. Now, so the global talent, you can see that this new idea, it's a combination of the two, combination of our current existing global talent visa. So our existing current global talent visa, if you're one of our candidates, you know that your visa can be granted based on your skill set only, right? On your skill set only, on your work only, to show that you are on top of your industry. This is really our work to show that. You can see how we understand really well of that. So this task force is going to be combination of the two, combination of global talent, individual one, and a business, but create something else, which is not just offering for a business owner or business entrepreneurs to come to Australia. They're going to offer a package visa to senior member of the business if they want to relocate to Australia or have an office in Australia. For example, an IT company, right? They might have 35 numbers of employees. Now, they can go on traditional business visa 188A, right? 188C or 132A, depends on how much they want to invest, how their capacity. It takes 3 years, 1 to 3 years. For the permanent visa, for a temporary 188 to 888, it take quite a long time. It's traditional way. Now, instead of say, you go through a normal business visa, department saying here, I'm going to not just grant you as a business owner a visa for yourself, for your family, all right? I'm going to grant you your senior members in that decision-making board, give 3 to 5 visas, depending how many you need. And you can right now do the business here in Australia. I want you to do it right now. You have to have a genuine intention to move over your business, either start a new company or start a new branch, but it has to be happening in very short period of time, right? Of course, we know the department going to have some monitor system where they will need to say, oh, actually, have you got permanent visa run away? I mean, are you doing anything here? They will have time, sometimes, but they want to actually escape from the traditional way. We send a document to Hong Kong processing center, and they don't have enough numbers working on that, and they take like forever time to process, and we don't know who actually process it. Even I'm really experienced and skilled business visa, we've done quite a lot, and if you're one of the candidates, you know that I don't have access to to processing officer for the business visa. Nobody has. Nobody has. I sent a document to Adelaide. I sent a document to Hong Kong. I don't know who's actually looking at this. This is quite ridiculous. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Are they doing their work? I have no idea what's going on if they just go to 9 to 5 work and never check our documents. Of course, this is not the case, but we know the length of processing time. This new program is going to have one point of contact. So we are not waiting for someone we don't know. We actually approach to the senior officer of the department. We ask them to give an invitation, 3 to 5 invitation on one go. Right, on one go. We sign a promise saying, yeah, I like to open a company here. So this is the way you can see they initially start with Home Affairs, Trade Investment, and Department of Education, Skill and Employment, and Department of Innovation. So the Global Talent Independent, the lobby group under the Global Talent Independent was actually Department of Innovation. This is the reason why the processing center is still in Adelaide, because Department of Innovation, their main office, it's in Adelaide, as well as the Trade and Investment, of course. Now, so this joint force will have no power. They draw senior officer from Department of Home Affairs. So we only have a connection with this one. Trade, investment, and treasury, right? Money, right? Money, we need money. We need funding. Foreign affairs, industrial science, energy. So whole of the government initiative. And this is going to be very, very great for Hong Kong business, because I've already told department they're really easy to integrate with the community and really easy. They will come. When they say they come, they will take time, probably 1 to 2 years. Just moving business, not just straightforward. You do some work. You have to find a business partner. You have to do something. But we know Hong Kong business, they're ready, right? They're ready. They have to be ready. Otherwise, you're gonna miss opportunity, really. So this is the reason Department of Home Affairs is really interested to help Hong Kong business. If we say how size of the company, we don't know, because here today I'm actually asking you, what do you want me to propose to the department? Now, so here we don't need to express any interest, because what I'm gonna do is going to send out a spreadsheet. That's it. I'll just send out spreadsheet to Scott. So I'm going to show you the email I received like 2 days ago about from Scott, right? So here, of course, he said, okay, just give me which company, what size, and I asked him, oh well, so what do you mean by big business? What sectors? And he said here, the task force is only recently being stood up, which means they just formed the team. And they are still working on the policy, parameters of business with qualified task force assistants, right? Basically saying here, oh, well, I have no idea about policy. But he will let me know as soon as we have anything concrete from department. Now it's seven departments. But he can actually confirm it's not limited to 3 sectors you read from the news, from the media release. They will consider other business if they are of a sufficient size and can be benefit to Australia. We can be very creative in this. What do we mean by benefit? All the business come to Australia, we benefit, of course. if the company is really running well and financial healthy, very financial healthy, for the quite 3 years, substantial amount of sales revenue, then you can definitely confidently say, I can be benefit to Australia, right? Am I still here? Okay, so I'm not sure whether everybody's here with me.
Yep, I hear you.
Okay,
Yeah.
God, I'm just trying to talk myself. Is that too sincere here? Okay, I'm sorry. So, of course, I asked someone who worked for Huawei, right? I asked whether that would be international kind of environment. Here, he basically say, yeah, tell me who they are, right? So, if someone from Huawei, would they be disqualified? No, no. The business, no. As long as, yeah, they're good, well, they will consider. And he says here, please send through the brief detail and business. What kind of information we need? We need sector, ICT sector, export, import, importing business. It can be manufacturing, anything. Scale, I think relating to sales figures, many number staff member, but it's not related because some IT company, they might not just have many staff members, right? They just have 7, but they probably sufficient size. Probably they're not making money at all. It is okay because they can be very, very, have strong potential. Oh, we have someone join us. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Sorry about that. And he asked me, oh, tell me information, executive structure, meaning who actually really senior, who wants permanent visa around. We just ask how many PR you want and how likely you want to relocate Australia, right? So here we are doing this. It's really from all the beginning when I talk to Vivian, the only thing we will consider if we work with government instead against government. We never provide information that we don't have confidence. If we're not confident, we don't have confidence, then we will never showcase clients to the department. And our intention, because we are in Australia, right? We really want Australia to quickly build up economy. And it's not a lovely place to stay as well. So here we actually work with the government to really build up the economy here. And this task force is not just applicable to Hong Kong candidates. He mentioned that it's not limited to 3 sectors, not limited to Hong Kong business. But I can assure you, because of successful cases that I've done in the past few months with lots of Hong Kong candidates, Scott and their team will give our priority in designing Hong Kong business. So if you have anyone, relatives, boss, friends, colleagues, it can be any type of business. It is okay if they are just startup. We can still show that because some of startup, they have really great potential and they are able to recruit someone. As you can see, tech company, they grow very fast. In 1 to 3 years time, if they have initial funding and future funding, obviously we will be providing lots of support in terms of funding because we have been working with early stage fund, venture capital limited called Dixon knows that factual innovation. We'll be working with seed companies to provide fundings to early stage companies. But if someone has really doing great in their company, I think this will be really easy for them to come over here. So yeah, and then this is the introduction of our 3.0. We actually, I think I'm going to record some information next week into YouTube to formally announce that. And I believe we've got a bunch of people approaching us to ask questions like, oh, how many size? I will just tell you, if we say it's good, if you present a business to me, say business A, number of staff, and if I understand lots of, and then I feel this will be beneficial to Australia, you will get permanent visa. As long as I say, I believe it. We really truly work with the community really to build up this. I think this is a fantastic opportunity for Hong Kong business. All right, Vivian, I've already shared the information, and then shall I hand that over to you? I will stop sharing.
Thank you, Thank you, Joanna. Yeah, so that was the latest update we received from the Global Talent Officer. And is there any, so we now want to give some Q&A session for attendees. So if you want to raise any question regarding to the GTI 3.0, just unmute yourself and you can ask the question here. Or if you don't want to speak, you can type in the chat box below and then we can share it with everybody. So is there anyone like to ask any question about the GTI 3.0? Don't be shy.
Hi, Joanna. Thank you for your information. I just want to ask a very basic question. What kind of information do I need to submit if I want to apply this GTI visa?
So this is kind of a question really common for someone. So are you referring to GTI 2.0 for individual type of visa, or are you referring to who's a business owner?
Or if I just have startup, so like owner, yes.
Okay,
owner, yes.
Okay, so for at this stage, the information from you will be, of course, the company, what company, your website, your company size, your sales revenue last year, and how many members staff, full-time, how many part-time, how many contractors, and whether you have really good customer base, and who they are, and the customer size. We really want to see that from a potential way of whether your company will be able to grow in Australia, and that's what we're looking. So currently, I don't need any supporting documents, right? I don't need to check that. I only need something that general and information that it's just for not very specific but general one.
Okay, thank you.
I think someone else, okay, can I ask someone say, how can I bring the team of the company over can I bring a team? Yes, so that's what you're referring to, the new one, Taskforce 3.0. You can bring your team with you under the same pathway, and the department will issue the same visas to team members. But you have to prove you can't just like bring over factory 100,000 permanent. You want someone who's a senior in your team member, in your company, right? Who, for example, chief operation officer, who's really senior and who's decision maker in some of the areas, and they can come with you. Yes.
Okay, I'll ask on behalf of one of the candidates. He asked how much shareholding that they need to own for the company if they are one of the founder.
Okay, so one of the founder, we have to make sure that you are the decision maker, right? In terms of that, at least you have to have 51% of the share, right? Otherwise, you won't have a decision to make decision a company shall move or not.
Okay, and is there any minimum revenue or turnover with the business?
For my understanding and my discussion with the department, it's really at this stage, that's no minimum of salary, minimum revenue. The reason because of this, first of all, we don't know how many people will apply, right? So for example, for this whole year, like financial year, and we only have 10 business apply, and their business size like just 2 million US turnover. Then what would you say department would do? They would just wait for someone who has 20 million? No, they would just give you anyway, right? But if we have so many candidates that every business is about 100 million turnover, which is unlikely, then if you just have 2 million, then that would be not possible. So I was considering this as that the early birds always get fed, all right? So if you are considering it's really great, you will just pop through our information. So we can actually ask, so first expression interest, we've already discussed, will be free. So you are not going to, the department not going to charge anything. We just need initial feedback from department. We will not charge anything. Even you need to decide not to do anything or ask someone else to do it for you, it's fine. There'll be no obligation. For us, it is for us to work together with the industry to request department to consider, and you're absolutely free to decide later whether you want to do it now or with someone else, or wait for 1 or 2 years. It is absolutely fine. But we're able to provide feedback from department directly, which is the senior officer. Yes, your business will qualify, and yes, how many permanent visa the department can grant you. So we can get feedback from department directly on that.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Joanna. So there is no, so by what you just meant, there's no, is there any, like, how much they have to invest or how many employees they need to employ? There's nothing in the policy yet, right? So it depends on the.
So the government is looking at this. The government, are you able to sustain? Right? Are you able to sustain? So for example, you will say, I have 3 team members. I have 1 sales director who I really need him because sales. I have 1 chief operation officer. I have 1 financial controller. 3 of them have to come with me this time. We're going to set up a office in Gold Coast, right? Now, so you have to demonstrate they current senior role in your company already. You can't just randomly promote someone, right? They have to be in with the company with a substantial amount of time. Then they will consider. So in terms of how many employees they know, they are not restricted to this. I know that for fact. They are not require you to, hey, just recruit 1 more people from the street. No, they want to say, oh, is your financial capacity able to recruit 3 of your, so to actually pay salary for new staff members according to the market rate. Okay, so for example, so some of the salary probably it's not. Hong Kong is good. Hong Kong is because salary in Hong Kong is quite good. The company, if we consider the revenue, they will be able to provide very similar salary compared to Hong Kong, right? So they only need to demonstrate. But my discussion with the department is really they don't want you just to be heavily pressured about or recruit someone immediately, because you have to allow the business to grow. They have to have the room to grow as well. I think we have other questions from our chat box.
Okay. So expanding business to remote location is not easy, especially for startup. Will government provide assistance? Yep. I can reply that actually I do have a slide about government support later, but I can answer it right now. There is actually, I just talked to the innovator facilitator yesterday, and she's employed by the federal government. So currently there is support for startups and businesses. However, there's some criteria to meet, of course. They have to be at least 3 years registered under the ABN, the Australian business, under the Australian business, and they have to have a revenue of $1.5 million. So this is one of the grants they have, but there are also a system from the government with people how to start up their business and do their startup as well. So I will share that in a slide later on after this. Yeah. And can also ask, other than the PR visa, what other supports the department may offer? Funding, tax, etc. Where can I find those information? Yep, so I'm going to share that with you later on a slide. Okay, so according to Joanna just shared, there is no, I know there is another question, how many founders can apply at the same time? So based on what you just answered, there is no quota. As long as it's a key person, they can prove that they are the decision makers, then I think there's no limits on the quota for each company, how many people can apply. Yeah, that's right. Any other question? Okay, for GTI 2.0 individual, how to measure whether the candidate is internationally recognized and can contribute to Australia? You want to answer that one, Joanna?
Yes, yeah, okay. Yes, good question. This is why we are so great, because what we interpret policy perfectly. Well, we actually communicate with the policy maker, where you just saw his email. What it's meant by international recognition is that because referring to you are actually the person internationally recognized? No, it has 3 levels of policy requirement. I think we can share some screen here. International recognition, yeah, about policy, can we?
Yep,
Because
yep.
because that will be a lot of our candidates that would like to ask. And for our successful candidates, you might need to find out why you got successful in the first place. Okay, so what do we mean by international, here, it's the international, right? International recognition. Here they refer to, so it gives examples of, for example, your industry awards or professional certifications and that. So this is the level of evidence you can provide. But what it's really meant by international recognition, here we have a very specific definition, all right? Assessing international recognition, they have to consider 3 factors: the international standing of the country, where the applicant's achievements were recognized in respect of particular area. So therefore, this is actually very objective, right? What country? It's the country has international recognition in that area of achievement. Hong Kong, is this? Yes. But if someone from Thailand and working one of the whatever company, it's going to be very hard to say that they are internationally recognized because the country does not have international standing, or let's say this, has Australian standing. Australia recognize, or every Australian recognize that country has really same level of us, right? That's a policy. And the other one, they say international of standing of achievement in relation to Australian standard, right? In terms of if this is research, so it's not relevant to us because the majority of us will be qualified for the professional one, not academic one. And standing of achievement in relation to international standards, this really refer to your achievements now in Hong Kong. If you go to UK, have the same achievement, would you recognize someone's achievements great? Would you? If that is the case, then you meet international recognition. It doesn't refer to the fact that your skill has to be recognized by every country, by everybody around the world. It's referring to that your achievement, if you go some other countries, especially for UK, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, US, would really recognize this kind of high level of achievement. So I just try to share one of the policy requirements when we deal with that. So you do not need to worry about that. If you're really interested in that, we have Facebook groups. You can search our Facebook page. We have a YouTube. You can find more information where I actually talked about very in-depth about technical requirement for each of the requirements in my YouTube channel. So I hope that's answer your question. I'm going to stop sharing here.
Okay.
Thank you, Vivian.
Yep. So anyone else have any question for GTI 3.0 at this stage?
Yeah, hi, Vivian. It's Justin Uren. Hi, Joanna. I'm one of your existing clients. Sorry, I've got a number of questions. First one, we talk about decision makers. What I want to understand is a board resolution. Does that suffice as decision maker?
Yes, Justin. Yes, I actually have mentioned the company to your company to the department. So okay. we are actually going to have more information from you in terms of numbers, and we will request. For instance, what you mentioned, if board member, of course, yes, of course, they are key members, a decision maker within the company. Yes, so they will qualify as under the GTI 3.0. Yeah.
Okay, great. And then obviously this is still a draft policy and they assessing case by case at this stage. how soon do they anticipate having this program in place for people to relocate? Because it's saying, how fast can you set up a business in Australia? Should you be able to do that? What is the time period or time frame that they're looking at for people to relocate?
Thank you, Justin. It's a really interesting question. We talked with Scott. They are looking at 2 years. If you can you set up business within 2 years after permanent visa is granted?
Okay. Yeah, you know my answers, Joanna. Yes.
Yes, correct. So this is actually include. This is actually not for the first stage. They will not ask you to sign like a promise or contract with the department. You must do this, but instead they will have a monitoring system where, you know, they will check with you within 2 years. Say, hey, what's going on? Have you registered company? They have kind of condition on that. If you don't set up company within 2 years and run away, then that won't be good. But it will not be a condition when someone is granting the permanent visa. They will grant it anyway.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone have a question? Okay, if not, I'll probably move on to the next session, which is, let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to share this part. I'm going to share a little bit of the case study for our successful applicants. I got very honored, got 3 successful applicants, like to share their industry background and also what they thought about the industry insight as well. So the first one is from Mr. Kwong. Mr. Kwong, he is actually, his industry sector is in data analytics and AI technology. So I've interviewed him about what challenges he is experienced or foreseeing within the industry after all the changes in Hong Kong in the past year. So he shared that the economy was impacted by a numerous of protests against the extradition law, and the economy has been further locked down by the COVID-19 in 2020. With reduced revenue, the companies have less budget and more cautious in spending in technology. Though there is economic downturn, still some companies may explore how AI technology could help them to increase productivity and streamline operation and customer engagement. And I asked him how US declared Hong Kong is no longer a special region. So under the national security law, what are the impacts to the industry? And based on his experience, it is impacted by the government with the strengthen their control and monitor the data flowing over the internet and data being stored in the data center. In the medium term, some companies might consider relocate their data centers and regional offices from Hong Kong to other countries. If more data is encrypted and protected, it might have a negative effect to the industry development in the region. So I can see there is some challenges coming up in this sector. And what motivated him to migrate to Australia? The quality of life, the high quality of education for the children, the career opportunities, the wonderful scenery, and the pleasant climate and the food. I'm surprised with the food one. Okay, how do you foresee your career plan when you move to Australia? So Australia has a stable economy, and the government is actively investing in data analytics and AI technology. I believe there are career opportunities for me to promote the adoption of AI technology in various industries. Yep, this is why Australia is attracting talents like you to Australia. So if your current company going to open a headquarters or branch in Australia, do you think it's a good move and why? So he said his company already have an office in Australia, so he may consider relocate to the office in Australia. So if you want to select any policy, what would you like the Australian government can support these businesses? So the government could encourage adoption of AI technologies in corporations to promote how AI can increase productivity, enhance cybersecurity, driving innovations, and fostering customer engagement and loyalty. The government could publish guidelines and best practice of applying AI in various industries, from telco, retail, hospitality, to financial services, etc. The government could provide incentives to corporations which adopt AI technology, such as tax incentive and AI innovations subsidies, etc. So I think because we're collecting all this information from our clients, so we can speak directly to the GTI officer. So from your first time you have contacted us, how long was your whole process until your visa was granted? So he had contacted in April, and he got his PR granted in early September. So it's about 5 months time. So we have basically got his visa within 6 months as we promised. And then we have Bruce here. Bruce also shared a bit about himself. He's from the cloud computing, from the Telstra Cisco fintech sector. And then the challenges he's facing with fintech is the financial hub in Hong Kong is badly affected, including the AI, the talent recruitment and technology, the constraint people in development their own solution, and they need to actually outsource from others. Some companies such as like JP Morgan, they have their own in-house development team with their own solutions. So a lot of, sorry, I just let someone in. Okay. Okay, so a lot of IT talents in Hong Kong are into sales, but they are not specialized technically, but more focused on the budget. So political issues will badly affect the science and technology, which need to be fixed and make changes. There are increased difficulties to import technology products to Hong Kong, as there are many questions asked by the Hong Kong custom and need to be verified by those big four companies. And with the US declare Hong Kong no longer a special region, so he thinks that there are no more growth and expansion with the uncertainty in Hong Kong. Many businesses are divesting from Hong Kong and laying off people. For example, Morgan Stanley is moving their employees to their UK office for operations as they are experienced in development their teams. And his motivation to migrate to Australia is the work-life balance. He has stayed in Australia before and liked the good weather, and we have very less disaster. And he thinks Australia has a stable economy, and the government is actively investing in technology. So there is a big potential here in Australia to develop into a financial hub in the APAC region. So he's very optimistic in looking for jobs. The only concern he has is about the expected salary, which may be lower in Australia compared to Hong Kong, but it is a good trade-off with the good living environment and the work-life balances. So expect a different ecosystem and willing to adapt in the changes. Although tax is high in Australia, but we have very good benefits as well. So his current company also has an office in Brisbane, and he may look for opportunities in the Australian office and some local firms. It's good for business to relocate in Australia. He thinks it's a very big potential for growth opportunity. The talents can utilize their resources from APAC, and good to create more competitions. And with the growing economy of scales, Australia can have lower cost and better quality. So it can be more competitive to other countries, such as the 5G companies and the cables. And he thinks fintech will be the future developments in Australia that can be like compared to UK and New York, and we can be more compatible with them as well. And he has contacted in mid-July, and he already received the invitation end of July. So only 2 weeks. So 2 weeks we got his invitation. So I think now he's waiting for his police clearance to get his visa approval. And the last one I would like to share is from Mr. Chow. He is also in ICT, in the system software and hardware sector. So he's specialized in the construction industry to increase the efficiency and improve in environmental issue. He also specialized in the system infrastructure in projects such as material, logistic, HR outsourcing, and the drone technology for monitor the sites in the real time. So he helped to the strategy improvement using technology. So he finds the challenges with the big environment and the political issue, there's not much impact for him at the moment, but it's not benefits to all citizens at the moment in Hong Kong. And he thinks the manufacturing industry is badly impacted under the national security law, and the confidence level is decreasing. So technology, no big impact at the moment, but with uncertainty in future for advanced technology such as semiconductors can be a big concern in Hong Kong. And what motivated him to migrate to Australia? Of course, the lifestyle, the weather. So everybody likes the weather, better education for kids, and a good legal system. That's very important. Yeah, if you want to set up businesses, a good legal system is very important, which is very suitable for Hong Kong. The time difference is small, and there's not much political issues here on the citizen level. And for his career plan, he thinks it's a great chances to look for opportunities. He may take some time to understand the culture and the business environment. He will set up his own business, because he's currently having his own business in Hong Kong as well. So you can consider the GTI 3.0. So you have more flexibility, self-actualization, advancement, and better benefits in Australia. And he has friends in Sydney as well. And yep, he think moving the headquarters to Australia would like to contact his partner to open a business here in Australia, because the talents are important. They can bring the current staff here. If they open their business here, they can reserve their talents in Hong Kong. And he can also bring his team and getting them a PR, helping the staff to settling down with their families without worrying family matters, so they can have better contribution to the company. They can be more, reliable and have more bonding and sense of belonging to the company. So it can create, creative and more shining their talents in the company. So he thinks there's more opportunity in different elements such as renewable energy and solar power as well. With expectation, he's expecting utilizing his own skills to set up a business. So it would be good to have support to set up businesses, resources, regulation, tax, and accounting, which I'm going to share a little bit more later. The network and networking is important with related industry support. Refined network support become more competitive and create job opportunities in Australia. And if he select any policy, what would you like the government can support? So he think he doesn't need any like financial support, but more the company and employee information, education for family support, social benefits and information, so that expats and new migrants will easily get started and settling down. Gathering networks within the related industry, the Chamber of Commerce's, local community collaboration, opening the bridges for Hong Kong, APAC, and China. He thinks there's no economical support is needed, as everyone will use their talent to evolve in Australia. So they don't need special treatment from the government, as they are very kind to have this opportunity open to Hong Kong people. Yeah, so he has first contacted last November. Actually, he's one of our very first clients when GTI just started, but he committed in July. So he already received an invitation, and now is waiting for the police clearance to obtain his visa approval. So this is a few successful cases we want to share from our candidates as well. Okay, so in terms of the government support, I have actually got some websites here for you to have a look. You can start looking at them if you want to start your business. There is a business.gov.au website. They have actually a starting guide, help you to see how you can start your business. There's also grants and programs for different sectors. So if you click in that, you can actually select your sector, select what kind of support and what kind of grants you want. There's a lot to choose from. So it does take some time to look into those grants as well. And there is also a business checklist, a business plan for your checklist. And the registration services, I have also included a link here for people who want to, already start register the business, because I mentioned there's the innovative grant earlier. You need at least 3 years and have 1.5 million revenue. So I think if you can register your business here as early as you can, have that kind of support the earlier. And the Innovation Connection also have, they also connect with universities and on research and stuff like that. So they can provide free support in the R&D with different sectors as well. So this is the kind of service they provide. And they will, I chat with the lady and she will actually look at each case very carefully, make sure, you meet the certain criteria as well. So if you're interested in that Innovation Connection support, you can let me know and I can introduce you to the lady. Yeah, but first of all, you have to register your business in Australia first. They also have the entrepreneurs program, and also in Queensland, because we are from Queensland, so we also have the trade and investment from Queensland and the accelerating commercialization support from the government as well. So if anyone would like, I can share this this PowerPoint later on if you need the information. So there is actually a lot of government support, and especially for those GTI 7 sectors, they are putting a lot of supports, particular for those 7 sectors as well. Not just for Hong Kong, but in general in Australia as well. Okay, so we also so our service doesn't stop here. After you grant your PR, we also have industry networks. We have government networks. So we want to help our candidates, to settling in, especially for businesses. So we can introduce you to network like for accountants or legal, or if you need to look for properties, we also have that kind of servicing. If you need someone to help you to look for a property, and if you need staff recruitment, we also have HR. We can specialize in different sectors, can help. So we want to help you to start your life easier in Australia, because I have been through that as well myself. So come and feel free to contact me for more support if you need. Okay, so far, is there any more question at this stage? I've been talking a lot. Is everybody falling asleep?
No, it's good. It's good. Thank you, Vivian.
Okay. Someone raised their hand, is it? I saw someone raise their hand.
I think that's Justin. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that was me. Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any questions, Justin?
No, sorry, that was my previous questions. That was from earlier
okay.
on. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Cool. So basically we have already
I've got yeah, we've got Ken ask us questions about final approval.
Okay. If got invited to about how likely the final approval would be. So basically the final approval is waiting for your health check and your police clearance. If everything is good with your health and your family's health and no problem with the police clearance, basically they will approve right away. So at the moment, the police clearance from Hong Kong now, according to our clients, the police are very slow in Hong Kong now processing this. Even they need to book in, it takes about a month to book in. So you must receive we must submit the visa application first before, and you got a letter from us to get all this done. So you can't do it, from the early process. And then after you book in, you get the police clearance. They take about 4 to 6 weeks now in Hong Kong. And then after you granted the police clearance, they have to send it to the migration office in Adelaide. So I always recommend our clients to send using the courier service like DHL or FedEx. So it's faster. Usually it processes in 1 week. If you use like Express Post, it will take a month. So I think now the most time consuming is about getting the police clearance for Hong Kong people now. Yeah. Is there any other questions?
I think we have an audience here asking, when do they need to come to Australia after permanent visa is granted?
Okay, very good question. So actually, after the visa granted, you have 1 year to come in. So if you can't make it within 1 year, you just let me or Joanna know. We can apply extension for you because the visa is 5 years. So basically, you only need to stay only 1 day here. But obviously, we want you to stay here for permanent. But in terms of the visa, you can just come in for a week, like settling in, and then your visa is granted. So you have 1 year to come in, you know, even just a week for holiday and look at different places. You can do that as well.
Yeah, we actually encourage everybody to settle in 2-3 years time, because we want to make a good network with you. We'll be hosting very regular networks, and we really want to see how successful the program. And then I will force everybody to complete a survey from the department, because I've already been called saying, you need to ask everybody to complete a survey just to tell about your experience, what kind of support the department can provide to you, your challenges, for example. So to gather some initial data so we can actually improve the program. So yes, if you, after you enter Australia, please let us know, because you'll be required to complete a survey for the department.
Okay, very good. Yeah, we want everyone's feedback as well, because we want this program to be, you know, can be continuous for other people as well, can be beneficial to other candidates as well.
We have
some tax arrangement first prior to coming to us. Very good question. Actually, my answer is no, because you're not a tax resident yet. So according to if you're not here in Australia, even though you're a PR citizen like myself, I worked in Hong Kong before, I have not paid any tax in Australia while I was working in Hong Kong. So if you live here less than 183 days and half a year, basically you're not a tax resident. You don't have to declare Australian tax. So no need to worry and concern that I have to apply for a tax file number and things like that until you arrive and work in Australia. So so you don't have to worry about it. But once you are in Australia for good, you have to declare all your income, including your global income, all your investment. And yeah, so only when after you move to Australia and live here permanently. Okay, thanks, Ken, for your question. Anyone else got questions? Very good. Okay, one last thing I want to share my screen. Okay. Okay, thanks for staying here until the end. So Joanna and I are very kind. So we want people to show their expression of interest. So if any of you or you know anyone or the company, you know, to submit the expression of interest by this Sunday. So I'm going to send out a survey after this this webinar. I'll send out tomorrow. Yeah, you'll receive a survey for me. So I hope you all can fill out the post-event survey for me. And there is also an expression of interest. So if the first 10 we receive a free consultation and a free, you know, submission of EOI from us as well. So there's no risk for you or your friend's company, and then until you receive an invitation. So hopefully we can help and benefit more people from Hong Kong as well, and in that sense. So yeah, so basically our sharing is almost there. Anyone else got question, feel free to contact us. I'll just share one last page, my details. Okay, so so if you need more information, feel free to contact me. I know Joanna is very, very busy on all these new applications now. And so I'm able to answer some of your questions as well. So basically Joanna is focusing on processing all the visa, all the expression of interest. So you can contact me on my Facebook. You can get information from our YouTube channels as well, or you can just WhatsApp myself, and then we're very happy to get back to you if you have any question. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. And this is end of our sharing, and very we appreciate everybody here. So if you have any questions, just yeah, give me a WhatsApp message or send me on Facebook. So yeah, we'll end our session here now. Thank you, everybody, and have a good night, good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.